Welcome back to Leveling Together with M-Dog, and we are finally here. We finally made it to, I keep saying Italy, but this is actually Czech Republic, isn't it? It's the Lesni Vila Fishery. So we're here. We're spawning in across the way here. And let me get my lines in and I'll show you exactly where we are. This is actually the first place I've tried fishing at on this map, and it has seemed pretty good for what we're doing. I've got one marker down. Oh, I guess I can't show you since I'm holding this line. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. We're fishing with bread with honey and red worms on the other line, and we've just been... I think there's a size 4 hook on my bread with honey rig, and on the red worms I think I've got a size 6 hook. We'll make sure of that in a minute though. But I did a little bit of testing here before starting the episode. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to be completely bored out of our minds while recording this episode. And it seems pretty good. I was actually getting decent, for this being a level 3 like starter lake for bottom fishing. I was getting pretty decent money in XP, just kind of steady. And we're using 2 feeder lines. I guess that's the other thing. I did buy a second feeder line. But it wasn't too expensive, and I was able to just recycle the same reel I was using on the, I guess it was the one that we had on our spinning line. So we didn't have to buy a new reel, and we didn't have to buy a new line. We're still using the same. I think we're using 4-pound line on both. So let's see what we call here on red worms. First fish is a trophy Prussian carp. And it just doesn't get much better than that. I mean, it's 69 silver, 33 XP on a free-to-play account here. So let's keep that. I think we just hit a new level. Yeah, so level 10. We can go to North Carolina now. We got some new gear here that we have access to in the store. Maggots, that's interesting. We could try maggots here. Whenever I see purple and black spoons, although these aren't the narrow spoons, it might be the narrow spoons that are really good for the walleye. Shrimp, crawfish. Again, you just never know. Some new feeders, new line. Looks like a rod and several reels. New backpack. That's something I haven't checked in a while, is can we use any kind of new a new fish net? We should look at that. So let me just show you real quick here. When you, I believe when you spawn in right about here. It's in the other side of the 3 spawn locations. And then you just kind of turn left and come right down here. Just for information's sake. There may be, I mean, I don't know that I'm on like some kind of magical spot. I mean, we just sort of tried down here first. It seems if we do cast to the marker, it seems like we're getting down to about 10 feet in depth. Which seemed like a pretty reasonable hole to be casting into. And so we just sort of found a spot where we're pretty consistently catching fish. They're not all trophies or anything. A lot of them are just regular fish, but it's been good, consistent fishing. This will be a decent one. This could be like a young common or mirror carp, or maybe something else. Something I haven't seen much of, or tench. You know, one of the ideas of coming here is like, oh, maybe we'll catch tench. Tench usually are decent silver in games. Usually a pretty good money fish to catch. So is this another trophy Prussian or something else? No, it's a young common. But again, young common carp, but it's 2 pounds. It's decent XP. Good silver. I mean, you know, 80, sorry, I keep saying silver. 80 bucks at this point, at this level, is not too shabby. Especially with how fast these fish are coming in. We also have groundbait that I was going to try, and then I was thinking about how expensive the groundbait is. I'm just not sure how long the groundbait lasts, but we might try putting on the groundbait here in a minute and just seeing if that feels like it changes anything. It's probably not necessary for the type of fish we're catching here to use groundbait, but it's our first opportunity to be able to use groundbait. All we have is the base. There's nothing else we have access to at this point. But let's see, next time we catch a fish and we can actually see our net, I'll show you what we've caught so far. Basically all I did off stream was I traveled here and filled the net up once and then skipped to the next day, and I think I caught 1 or 2 more fish before I remembered that, oh, I'm supposed to start recording now. So I wanted to do this episode. I'm really trying not to fish too much when I'm not recording. I may do a little bit here and there to do some testing just to make the actual episodes a little more focused, but we'll see. My buddy Artrex is also playing a little bit of Fishing Planet. I think he's about level 20. He's been playing off and on, I think, for a few years, but just never really gotten into it that much. But he's playing a little bit right now, so it's possible I might even do an episode or 2 with him if he's, especially if he was wanting to fish at the same place that we were. But this is nice because just using red worms and the bread with honey, again, has been just consistently catching fish. All right, let's look at our net real quick. So we've gotten 2 trophy carp, the Prussian variety, which $69, $112. The young common carp. And so not much variety right now. We may have kind of found a spot that's a little focused. And maybe I should try some other spots if we want to see about catching some tench. Because we are pretty consistently getting these Prussians right here in this spot. But let's catch a few more fish and see if that trend continues. With this 4-pound line, you know it's a pretty nice fish when it feels like this, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I won't be able to, how long it's going to take to tire this fish out. We've got another fish on too, but it might get off by the time we get this one in. Come to Papa. Whew, don't pop off on me. There we go. Jump to me. That looks like a common, doesn't it? It's probably going to be a young common, unless I'm just not seeing it correctly. Yeah. Again, last one was $80. This one's $79. I mean, at this level, that's good money. That's good money. We can grind it out on those a little bit. All right, let's see if this other line still has a fish on there. I think the fish came off and then it got back on. This is something small, so maybe we'll see something different here this time. Maybe a little roach. Yeah, a little common roach. Again, not bad. I mean, 18. The trophies, the trophy common roach, which the first, when I first started fishing here, I had my marker about right here, but it's only about 6 feet deep there or so. But I did see a trophy common roach come out there. But once I found that it was a little deeper over here, it seemed like I was more consistently getting better fish. Although, again, not quite the variety. We haven't seen the silver bream and the tench and the common roaches as much. We've mostly just seen the small carp. The other thing I want to do real quick is show you kind of the time of sort of the spike and when it's hot fishing time here right now. And thankfully the fish are coming in so quickly, it seems like we're able to fill up our net while still in that time zone, which is nice. So don't really feel like you're, at least with a 15-pound net, it doesn't feel like you're having to grind out too much. And as long as you stay here a couple days, you're definitely going to be making a profit. There's a perch. So there's a fish we hadn't seen yet, on stream at least. I mean, sorry, since recording. So yeah, so it starts out really hot at 5 a.m. and then slowly kind of goes down. And then around 9 or 10 a.m. it's going to start really dipping a little bit, and we probably feel a little bit more grindy. But by then, we will have definitely filled up our net unless something changes dramatically. Only thing is I did want to see a tench. I saw one person that was talking about in a video that they had more success with the tench on night crawlers, which were many, many levels away from being able to access night crawlers. And I think they were even fishing at night, which I guess we could try even on these baits. But I know it's possible to get tench on these baits during the day, because when I first, the first net I filled up, I had one tench. It was a small one, but I did have one tench. So it's possible they might just be kind of rare. Well, since I said that about focusing on the carp, we have been getting some smaller species here. Several in a row. That looks like a little regular Prussian carp. Okay. So in our keep net right now, we're at about 500 bucks. And we've got room for three or four more fish, unless we get a couple of big ones. But like I said, there may be plenty of places that are, you know, really good here. I just kind of stumbled upon this spot. Oh, this is going to be another nice either Prussian or common or mirror. I have seen a couple of young mirror carp. Seems like those are a little less common. Oh, what's this? There she is, a tench. So this is just a regular tench. We're 63, 32 XP. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And that was on the red worms. C5 has been good for Bream. I'm assuming that was someone responding to my last leveling guide in Russian Fishing 4. I was fishing at Old Berg and not leveling guide, leveling together series. Just like I'm doing in this, I'm doing one in Russian Fishing 4. And at Old Berg, I was not catching very good fish, so I'll have to check that recommendation out. When I'm holding a feeder rod like this in Fishing Planet, I like to give it a minute before sort of right-clicking and making sure that fish is good and set on there. I feel like when you're holding it, if you click it too quick, oftentimes it won't really be on there yet. Here's a nice one. And again, this is a size 4 hook with the bread and honey, size 6 with the red worms. But this has been really fun. If I would have known it was going to be this consistent, I probably would have come here quicker. Again, because I like bottom fishing so much, you know, this just sort of suits my play style a little more than Texas. But Texas isn't bad, and one of the reasons why I like this game is because it does give me the opportunity to fish for bass, and I can't do that in RF4. So there is your young mirror carp. So again, 1.6 pounds, but $72. So a very nice fish there. Next fish probably fills the net. So we'll see. Just trying to see if that other line had a fish on there, but. And how many minutes are we in? We're only in about 13 minutes. So you can see we're filling the net pretty quick. I think what we'll try though is when we skip to next morning. Oh, this could be it. When we skip to next morning, I'll put ground bait on there. Just see if it seems like our bite rate or quality of fish changes at all. Again, I'm guessing at this place with how this is going, it's probably not going to be worth it to use ground bait. But since we have it, we'll just throw some on there for a few minutes and just see. Can't tell if that's the line I'm holding or the line on the stand. I didn't really see the line move on either one. I don't want to pull it too quick, but we may be about to lose the bait. It's one nice thing though, these baits that we're using, catching all these fish on, they're both very inexpensive bait. So there's just room for a lot of good profit. It's not the fastest profit, obviously, but it's pretty fun. It's for low level, it's consistent fish. And some of them are worth a decent amount. Well, there we go. I think that will do it for us. $24 for the roach. Oh, we still have room for one more fish. How lucky is that? Maybe it'll be a big juicy one. That seems pretty decent. It'd be nice if it was a tench. I think it is. That's a good way to go out for the day. 55. Yep, we are now over. There we go. Let's say 1.3 pounds, $59. 1.3 pounds. I don't know that there's anything. We have to get rid of something that's at least that big because we were so close to the weight limit. So I think we just release that fish. We still got the experience for it. And now let's. Oh. Wow. So we've got $750 in our net. How much did it cost to travel here? It wasn't that much. It's probably actually worth leaving and then coming back. But that is disappointing. So this is where not fishing at Texas, you start to feel it on a free-to-play account. Even on premium, we filled our net so quick we're 33 minutes away. I'm kind of not sure what to do here. Let's see if we do leave how much it was to. So we made 750. And then it's only 120 to travel. So yeah, that probably was the way to go. And just out of curiosity, let's see, how much is this ground bait? 480. And it seems like you use the whole bag in one trip. All right, let's travel right back and see how it goes. I mean, with as much profit as we're making, it's better to travel and you know, get right back into making profit than. I guess the other option would be is you could just sit there and fish and try to keep the most valuable fish you catch and just get the XP from fishing. Oh. I've been kind of enjoying going into our little private rooms. Okay. So let's see about ground bait. Oh, so I guess you don't have to use it all. And we don't have any components. That's funny. It takes a lot longer to mix it on a standard account. They get you, don't they? Every little way they can. All right, so now we can put these little open feeders on here. Make sure that it's not too heavy with the ground bait. Okay. We'll see what we get here. Oops. Again, just not sure that unless it just increases the rate of trophies we get or something. It's just hard for me to imagine how spending however much that is on ground bait is going to be worth it when we're already catching really, decent fish for a low-level lake. But I don't mind trying it and just seeing how it goes here. And you never know if the ground bait doesn't match with the water temperature or fish species or whatever, this particular flavor, then it could actually make it worse, I guess. I bet we burned through this ground bait pretty fast, though. All right, common roach. The only other time I've used ground bait in this game is when the UK map came out, the big carp lake. I did play that lake for a little while on my main account. Had a lot of fun there, and of course did some ground bait mixing with everything that came with that DLC back when it came out. That was fun. All right, there's a little, is that a tench? Okay. A couple little fish here on the red worms. Still haven't caught one on bread and honey. And if you look at my fish net after we do this for, like fill up a net, you'll notice that the red worms are definitely getting the quicker, faster bite rate. So I guess you could go ×2 on red worms and maybe fill your net even more quickly. But as we've seen, if you fill it too fast, you're going to run into the, okay, what do? We can't skip time yet. Or are we just going to pay the travel cost? But we do need to look at to see if there's a bigger net available. That would help some. That would help increase our profit, obviously. Even if for now we just get a stringer. I mean, if it's a lot bigger max capacity, it might be worth just getting a stringer. So that's 3 fish. That looks like a Prussian, doesn't it? It's a trophy too. Over $100 for that one. That's nice. That's 3 fish on red worms to 1 fish on bread with honey. This looks like this can be a good fish too. Maybe the size 4 hook and the bread and honey bait on average does catch a little better fish. I don't know. Very small but young common carp. All right, let's do this the opposite way. Let's put the red worms on the stand. And the bread with honey in our hand. Red worms has one on there. I think that's a little roach. Trophy roach, 56, not bad. I like that. .7 feet. We're right there in the spot we want to be in. Well, this ground bait has lasted through several casts, which has been nice. Hey, there's a silver bream. Haven't seen one of those in a little while. I don't think we've gotten a trophy one of those yet. Yeah, red worms are where it's at right now, aren't they? Prussian? No, maybe a tench, actually. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting decent XP, decent money. This is a fun place to fish for low level. Little fella. All right. Oh, this is for how long it took this fish to get on. A little disappointing there with the bread and honey. I want to try to get this one out there before we pick this one up. Hopefully we don't lose it. Prussian? Oh, nice trophy Prussian. So has the ground bait been worth it? That's the question. You might have to go back and look at what the... we probably have to get a bigger sample size, do this several days back and forth with and without ground bait, but it certainly has seemed good with ground bait. I like these silver breams. So that's the largest one we've had, 0.64, 25. I want to see a trophy silver bream. I wonder if they have trophies here. I would think so. For their size, those seem like pretty decent money. That's a little fella. We're not far from hitting another level here. I think it's just the consistency. My hypothesis here is going to be that there's really no discernible difference. That's my first impression between using ground bait and not using it. I think we did just as well without it, I think. Those perch are not worth much, are they? That was like $9. I think we've caught every fish in this lake just using redworms and bread and honey. The one we've caught the least has definitely been the young leather carp. Is that what it was? Is that, or is it mirror? I can't remember what the rare one is here. There's a tench. Nice tench. Personal record on tench. Anything interesting here? We're about to lose that fish looking at this stuff. So we did hit a new level on that tench. And we may be pretty close to filling up our net here on the catch here. So young common carp, 72. Very nice. I guess we'll put both of our lines in, but we both know, or we all know, what's likely to catch the final fish in our net here. It'll be so nice when we have a double stand. Oh, wow. I was wrong. That was a fast bite on bread with honey compared to what we've had. Maybe it'll be another young carp and top off our net really nice here. It's definitely going to finish the net off, whatever it is. Come on. A young mirror carp. So it is mirror. That's the other one, is mirror. 92. Very cool. We still have ground bait. So can we skip? Next morning. It's only $20 to stay. So we made $800. Very nice. So we're up to 14,000 bucks. Do they have a fish net in this? Level 8. So that one would be good. It would give us 11 more pounds for this. Although we don't want to buy it here because it costs 3,000. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. I've actually really enjoyed this check map. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks for watching. And I don't know what we'll do next time. Maybe more fishing here. We'll see though. But I will catch you next time.